Hello, fiber friends. Welcome to Fibers by Phoenix. I'm Phoenix. Here I talk about all of my makings. I'm talking about winter knitting plans today, and I do have one finished object to show you. I'm not going to talk about the rest of my whips because I haven't really had any progress since the last time I recorded. I am in my children's playroom today, so we're hanging out with Vicky. My son's napping. My daughter is watching a movie in the other room, so hopefully you can't really hear that and we don't have any interruptions. Yeah, so let's start with finished object. It is the Salty Days sweater. I am so glad this is done. I wanted to get this done November 30th, just so that I could have like my winter knitting stuff started by December. Maybe it was a little bit of an ambitious goal to have that done by then. Over Thanksgiving, my family ended up getting really sick. We all got hit by a stomach bug, so I'm giving myself grace that it wasn't done by then. It would have been nice, but it's okay because it's done now, and I'm glad she is. Here she is in all her glory. I am happy overall, I think, with how it turned out. The knitting is done, I should say. I still have to weave in the ends and block it, but I just wanted to show it. And maybe next time I record, I can have a before and after blocking video, because I really hope this lace blocks out. I hope the sleeves block out a little more. I did do the largest pickup for the sleeves. I know there's kind of like something's going on with the sleeves, like the number of stitches and stuff. Like a lot of the sizes are pretty similar, so I just don't get how that works out. Maybe because this is really stretchy. I did have trouble again on chart C on one of the sleeves. Maybe it was two of them. Just there's something going on with chart C. I don't know if it's me or what is happening. Either way, I figured it out or fudged it or whatever, and it's all right. I'll see if I can. You know what? I won't put in video until I have the before and after blocked, but I am really excited to have this blocked and just off the needles. The bottom is maybe a little more cinched in than I would like to, so I think I'm just going to have to really give it a good stretch when I block, because I don't want it to be so cinched when I'm wearing it. But she done. I'm done. I am so excited to have this done because the needles that I needed for my next project I was using on this. So I was trying to be good and not have this sit and transfer the needles over. But yeah, let's talk about winter knitting plans, because that's probably why you're here, and it's what I'm excited to talk about. I'm just getting my Ravelry queue up to make sure I don't miss anything. Let's talk about the one I'm most excited for. This is going to be the Cove sweater by the Knit Purl girl. I literally cast this on like earlier today when I had a minute to sit down. And I'm knitting this in, so I mean it's not much to show you, but I'm knitting this in Knitting for Olive red currant, and I'm holding the merino double with a strand of mohair, because this is a worsted weight pattern. I did not gauge swatch for this, but I'm hoping the two strands of merino with the mohair will be sort of like a worsted weight gauge. And this was my birthday present yarn that I got from my in-laws, so I'm just really excited to like have it cast on. I was hoping that this could be a Christmas sweater, because it's red. I'm excited to just have a red sweater in my wardrobe. Anyway, am I going to get a Christmas sweater knit in, what are we at? Today is December 5th. Let's see how many weeks. 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks till Christmas. You think I can knit a sweater in 2.5 weeks? It's definitely possible. I was going back into my project notes of some other sweaters I've made. I knit the Monday sweater in, let me see, in like 12 days. No, I knit the stripe pipe in 12 days and the Monday sweater in like 18, which is still like crazy. And I remember those were some that I had, like, they were the only projects that I was working on. So, and this is a bigger gauge than both of those sweaters. So it's possible, but I would have to be only working on this. And I got a lot of other stuff going on. So I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, even though I really do want it for Christmas. It'll be alright if it's a Valentine sweater. But I do really want it at least for this winter. So it will be getting done in the winter. But we'll see if I can make it for Christmas. This is my first time using Knitting for Olive. Not that I've even like had much use out of it because I literally just cast this on. But like first impressions, the merino was soft. The ply, I think it's a 4-ply. But like the plies are plied. Like the plies in themselves look like they're like plied a second time. I don't know, it's different. I don't know if I like know another yarn that I could compare this to. And the mohair is it's not scratchy, but it's not as soft as Knit Picks. If you guys don't know, I love Knit Picks. I am an ambassador for Knit Picks, which just means I get to share a code with you guys, and you can have some percentage off your orders. I post for them. I post stuff on Instagram for them, and they send me codes to give out to you guys and get a discount. It's not like an affiliate link or anything. They do send me like a percentage off my next order too, but yeah, so win-win for everybody. Speaking of Knit Picks, I should probably say what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my letter sweater, my Harry Potter inspired letter sweater. I've talked about this in a couple episodes, so I won't go into too much detail about it, but basically I used Knit Picks Stroll, held double. I used the stripe pipe pattern for like the base of the sweater, and then I duplicate stitched on top. Yeah, it's freezing here today, hence the hat, which I've had this since 1999, since before Carhartt was like considered really cool. So I'm a trendsetter. Just had to throw that out there, just had to rep myself. No shame. And yeah, it's just really cold here today. It's like 11 degrees, so I've got a beanie on inside and a cozy sweater. Anyways, back to winter knitting plans, or back to Knitting for Olive, I should say. Yeah, it's good. It feels good. I'm hoping it softens up. It's not like rustic or rough or anything. It's just maybe like not as soft. I don't know if I'm using the right, like, I don't know if soft is the right word. Drapey. I again am comparing. The only other mohair that I've worked with is Knit Picks, so that's the only thing I have to compare this to, and I would say Knit Picks is softer. It's just softer. The like core on this you can see really well too, like the silk. Can you see the like white? Yeah, you can see it, can't you? Oh, it's me being blown out. But yeah, the core is like a lot more noticeable. There, you can see that's pretty. Which I don't see in the Knit Picks mohairs. Like you can't really see the white core very easily. Like their colors are pretty saturated and really nice. Not saying that this isn't a nice color, because I mean it's just beautiful. But yeah, that's my comparison, I guess. And I guess maybe you can compare this to the Knit Picks palette, their merino, to the palette, but I would say the palette is a lot lighter, and it's a 2-ply, so it's like loftier than this feels. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents of my first impressions of knitting for Olive, because I've never used it before. This is the first time. It was a birthday present, so treated myself, and yeah. Anyways, Cove sweater. Hoping to have it for Christmas. Can she do it? We will see. I'll try not to hurt myself doing it too. Okay, this next one, I think I talked about this in my fall knitting plans, so some of these are rolling over because I just didn't get to them, and I still really want to make them and have them, and hopefully get some use out of them this season yet. This is the Lana vest by Irene. I have knit a little bit of cabling with that Salty Days sweater. Otherwise, I have not. I am brand new to cable knitting, so this vest is, yeah, like all over cable. So I have a feeling it's going to be kind of intense. There's a chart with the pattern, but you have to like do as the written stuff says, which I think I might like, or I'm going to like, hopefully, because again, I'm new to cables. I don't really know what I'm doing, but again, this is going to be, I think, pretty involved. Even though it's a vest, I don't know if it's going to go as fast as, I mean, obviously, say a stockinette vest. I am planning on doing this in, I do have the yarn for this already, in something from my stash, in a Knit Picks, like a Bear DK base. I should have grabbed it, but I didn't. It's in the other room. Because I did start casting this on. It looks probably similar to where this is at. But yeah, so hopefully I can get that going after this sweater is done. Oops, I moved you, I bumped you. But my hope is that I can wear it a little bit this winter, and then it'll kind of transition into a, you know, like early spring piece when it's still kind of chilly. Like it might be nice to have just a vest instead of a full sweater on. So that's my thinking with that one. And yeah, the Irene Lynn Lana vest. This is okay, so I'm considering winter as December, January, February, right? So 3 months. This might be a long list. I'm not sure. It might be more of like if I had all the time in the world to knit, this is what would happen. But this is my hope, that I can get to these things. The first 2 for sure, I think I can get done in those 3 months. Yeah, and then my next on the queue is Christmas in the Sand blanket. This is an also for sure I really want to get done. I have gotten the yarn for it. I got this yarn from Knit Picks from my last like big code that they gave me to purchase the yarn for, because this is a very expensive blanket if you use the yarn that the designer used and calls for in the pattern. Sorry, I didn't say the pattern designer Mallory Krall. She makes the most beautiful blankets I've ever seen. Her color palettes are just like, oh my gosh, and her pictures are just so incredible. And the really awesome thing about her is that she puts all the colors and like lays out all the colors she uses in her pattern, so you don't have to do any guesswork. I mean, if you like what you see, you can literally just copy her, and that is what I'm doing with this next project so that I can just take some of the guessing out. Again, this is a really expensive blanket if you use the yarn and that she calls for in the pattern. And that is the Knit Picks Tough Puff. I'll put pictures up in front of Mickey's face so that you can see. And yeah, I'm excited to have that for this winter because I think it'll just bring so much joy and just color to some colder days, which I think we all need a little bit of when it's freezing cold outside. Yeah, it'll be warm and cozy, and I'm excited to have it. The next one, oh, sorry, let me go back to that, what I was trying to say. So they're granny squares, and I was trying to like configure how to finish that one by Christmas too. Although I think with the Cove sweater as my main priority, that it probably won't get done by Christmas, the blanket, and that's okay. But I think after I get the Cove sweater done, I'd like to do like 2 squares a day to at least get it done like in the month of January. I think that's definitely doable. I think this pattern too, if I remember correctly, has a join as you go method, which would be really nice to not have to sew all of the squares together at the end, because sometimes that can just feel like such a big project, or just like overwhelming after you've finished all the squares. You're like, oh, now I have to connect them all, and I've never done join as you go, so we'll see how I like it and how it feels. Okay, this next one is the Stella quilt cushion. I believe I talked about this in my fall knitting plans, so this is a rollover. I've been wanting to make this for so long. I just haven't had the time to cast it on. I have the yarn and everything. It's just, I have to wind some of it up. I think still too is maybe what is kind of holding me back from that. Yeah, I really want to make this. I've been wanting to make this for a while, and I just need to do it. I just need to do it. After the Cove sweater, I think I'll have time to do, you know, like these smaller, not that it's a smaller project, but not a non-garment project. Because I have a lot of sweaters now to keep me toasty and warm. But Cove is like, I want it done for Christmas. Anyways, yeah, Stella Quilt Cushion by Laura Penrose. I'm sure you've seen or know that one. I will also quickly mention too my Sweet Shop blanket, which it's been a year since I got that yarn for it from last year's Advent. I was hoping to have that done for this year's Christmas too, and it just looks like it's taking a back burner, and that's okay because I know it will get done eventually, but I'm just going to throw that in for my winter knitting plans. So I've got 2 blankets. The Christmas in the Sand blanket is a bulky weight though, so I think that'll go a little quicker than Sweet Shop, but Sweet Shop is still in the mix, in the running, for hopefully working on this winter. Alright, let's go on right down the line with something small that I think I could do if I need like a kind of like a quick satisfying or quick gratification project, you know what I'm trying to say, which is the Maxine hot water bottle cover. I do have a big water bottle, and I have a cover for it. It's just like a plain cover, you know. It's just with like a variegated yarn. Plain as in like there's no color work or anything, that's what I'm trying to say. And the pattern I think was by Maker, so it's free on Ravelry. But I would really like to have like something more jazzy for the water bottle. And I think the Maxine Hot Water book cover is it. I'm also thinking about purchasing 2 little water bottles and doing 2 of the minis for my children. I think that would be a really good thing for them to have on school runs. My son today especially was just crying the entire time I was picking up my daughter from school that he was cold, and it's like, dude, I can't I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it. Like, it's just cold, we're all cold, bud. So I think that'll be good, and you know, like something little that he can hold and keep warm. Maybe I'll make them big ones too. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Or he can use my big one at school pickup. Yeah, and hopefully, yeah, I can get around to those, and that'll be a little bit of a quicker project. Maybe a nice breakup from sweaters and blankets. Moving on. So this, I don't think I've talked about this one yet, or this wasn't in my fall knitting plans. The porcelain sweater. This has been on my wish list, want list for a while. I love the colors. I think it's the colors and the color work, like the design too, right? Like it's doing it for me. I do have the yarn for this. I have most of the yarn for this. I'm planning on holding a palette with a Knit Picks palette with their mohair. I'm doing like I have some leftover grayish color from my California sweater, and then I'm going to hold it with white, so it'll kind of be like a grayish white base. And then Knit Picks has this like cobalt blue mohair that they don't have anymore. Like, it's discontinued. I have one skein of it. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to do the color work in my size. I think I was planning on doing like the medium. And I like was scouring Ravelry to like read everybody's, you know, project notes to see if I was going to have enough and like how much everybody else used. I think it would be close, but I think I would just feel better if I had two skeins of it, and I don't. So I'm just gonna have to see what I'm gonna do about the color work, the blue color for the mohair. I think I am gonna use a palette for the like the non-fluffy, and yeah, I'll have to see, because I just love the like cobalt blue, and I just want to make sure I have enough, or have like the ability to get more if I need it, which I cannot with that Knit Picks. I did message somebody on Ravelry to see like people, you know, sell stuff on Ravelry like in their stash or whatever, and I haven't heard back, so we will have to see about that. But otherwise I have the yarn, most of the yarn for that, to do that one, and I am planning that as like my New Year's cast on. I think it would just be fun to have a New Year's cast on as a little treaty treat. But that is also dependent on if my Cove sweater is done. Yeah, so, but I think it would be a fun, it's like a January sweater make. Yes, and then these next two, I did talk about, I'm pretty sure I talked about both of these in my fall knitting plans. The fancy sweater by the Lamb and Kid Designs, which is a free pattern. I have the yarn for it, and I think I just need to cast it on and go whenever I have time or if I would like. The yarn that I have is gray, however, and I just finished a gray sweater, so I'm just not sure if I'm feeling that one like a lot. So we'll see where that one takes me, but it's definitely in the back of my mind and it's in my Ravelry queue. Like I'm thinking about it. It's not lost on me. I do really like the yarn. It's a alpaca. It's very, very soft and drapey. I feel like sometimes I can be sensitive to alpaca, and this feels pretty good. I haven't like worn it on my body, but like holding it, and even like I've tried rubbing it on my face and neck just to see how I react, and it feels really good. So, but again, the gray, I'm just not sure if I want to do another gray sweater this year. So that's these last two that are rolling over from fall knitting plans are kind of like, if I had all the time in the world, would be what would be next. And then again, the Cal cardigan is the next thing that's rolling over from fall knitting plans, and that is by Claire Jackson. And again, that yarn that I have for that is also gray. Gray. So much gray. So I don't know if I want to be doing all that gray in the very, very cold months of the winter. Yeah, just because it already feels like gray outside. You kind of want something more bright and cheerful. I do really, really want a cardigan though. I put this like toward the end as well, just because I think I could maybe use it as a transition piece. Like if I finished it towards the end of the winter, I could use it, you know, for spring, like colder spring, almost kind of like a jacket. Yeah, and that is all I've got. That's all I've got. I know it seems like a lot, or like I know it's a lot. What is that, like 8 or 9 patterns? I haven't really been keeping count. I think it's like 9. In my head it feels like a lot. I know it is. But main one right now that I'm going to focus on is my Cove sweater, and I hope I like it. I just want to enjoy it. That's the main goal, right? Like we want to like what we're doing, but obviously the outcome is fun too. Yeah, that's all I've got for you. Winter knitting plans 2024. I guess moving into 2025. But let me know what you're working on. Let me know if we have anything in common, because it's always fun when you find out you're working on the same project as somebody else. I think it is anyway. Yeah, stay warm, stay cozy, happy making, friends. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.